I fell for my best friend. Okay, what I'm about to tell you is wild. In my defense, I had no idea. I ignored the signs due to what I wanted. So, for little context, my name is Layla and I'm 17 years old. My best friend is called David and he is the same age as me. David and I have been friends since we were 5. We were the closest pair you will ever see. What I like about him is that he does not judge me for who I am. I'm a bit of a nerd at school and I have very few friends. He is popular, yet he still hangs out with me. He's kind, caring, and honest, a very good person. I also fell in love with him when I was 12. I knew then that I wanted to be with him, but I was very shy to tell him. We would talk for hours about anything that came to our minds. He was also one of the silliest people I knew. He did not even try, he was a natural clown. Prom was coming up and I was stressed about who I was going to go with. I was complaining to Kyle, our other friend. Kyle wore glasses, was tall, and had curly hair. He was also the shyest person I knew. It had taken a while to crack his shell, but soon enough we were a trio. He was also the only person who knew about my crush on David. I trusted him, he was not a gossip. I am thinking of asking him to prom as a friend. Do you think he will accept? I asked. Maybe, you'll not know until you try, he said, turning to look at me. I should probably do it soon before Rachel beats me to it. I sighed. I probably did not stand a chance against her. She was gorgeous and I was not. She also liked him. Everyone knew. I had asked him about her, but he said that they were just friends. I found it hard to believe, but I let him off the hook. Just then, he appeared from nowhere. He was wearing some running shorts and he was shirtless. I was salivating. I suddenly felt a pain in my side. Kyle had pinched me. I turned to look at him. I was going to wring his neck. Your jaw is on the floor. He will notice you checking him out, he whispered. I blushed. I realized what I had done. Hey, what's up? I asked as he came to stand beside us. Nothing much. Just finished practice. Are you ready to go home? He asked. He was my designated driver since I kept on failing my learner's license. Sure, let's get out of here, I said. Kyle told us that he was going home a bit later, so the two of us could go if we wanted. I decided that I was going to ask him out during the drive home. So then I got in his car and started to drive. Hey, I wanted to ask you something, I said. Sure, what's up? He asked. Are you going to the prom? I said, crossing my fingers. I don't think so. No one asked me, he said. I rejoiced internally. This was great. Would you like to go with me? I asked. He was silent for a moment, then he suddenly smiled. Of course, friend, he said. I smiled and screamed in delight. I was going to prom with the guy that I love and I was going to confess my love to him there. I really hoped that he was going to return my feelings. If he did not, then I was not sure how I was going to feel about that. 2 weeks later, prom had finally come. I was so excited. I got my makeup done by my sister and I wore this cute princess dress. That night was the night that I was going to get the guy that I liked. He came to pick me up in his tuxedo and car. He looked so good. I felt tingles down my spine when he put his hands around my waist. I was so nervous because I was very unsure about how the night was going to end. We arrived at prom soon after. Everyone had attended. I was very pleased to wipe the smile off Rachel's face when she saw me with David. We got in and we were surrounded by teens dancing and drinking punch. We looked at each other and he smiled. I knew what was coming. He grabbed me and started to twirl me. I laughed as he dragged me to the dance floor. I was very tired after a while, so I went to get some fresh air. He came with me and soon we were walking through the school grounds. I'm glad that we came together today, I said. Of course, I had a good time, he said. I know how it can be so much better, I said. How so? He turned to look at me. So then I kissed him. He instantly pushed me away. I stared at him, confused as to why he pushed me away. The expression on his face was unreadable. I looked away in embarrassment. I had obviously misread the whole situation. I was an idiot. I wondered how I was going to look at him in the eyes after that. I'm so sorry, but I do not see you in that way. You're my friend, he said. His words got very deep. I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me right then. It is Rachel, is it not? I asked. Of course she got everything. She got away with being mean to me and now she was getting away with stealing the guy that I like? Talk about pretty privilege, she was reeking of it. What? No. He made a look of disgust. Who then? Who is this girl that you like? I said. What makes you think that I'm with someone? He asked. There is no way someone who looks like you does not have a girl he likes, I said. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I do not have a girl I like. I do not like girls, he said. What? I asked. I'm gay, he said. It was at that moment that I ran away from him. I needed to process the whole thing alone. I ran home and cried myself to sleep. The next morning, I woke up to many texts and missed calls from him. I could not believe that I had mistaken his kindness for love. He probably hated me with a passion now. I checked my messages and saw that most of them were from him. He was asking me to come to talk to him about the whole situation. He explained to me that he wanted to clear up everything. I reluctantly agreed to meet with him. So, 10 minutes later, I met him at our favorite cafe. Hey you, he said to me. Hey, I said in a little voice. I ordered your favorite, he said. I smiled faintly. Thank you, I said as I sat down. Okay then, so I called you here so that I could apologize. You're my best friend and you deserve royalty. If I was straight, I would totally go for you. But this is who I am, he said. I understand. I'm sorry for getting the wrong idea as well, I said, blushing. It's okay, dear friend. Stuff like that happens. And now, are we friends? He asked. Of course, I smiled. So then things went back to normal for us. I eventually got over him and grew closer to Kyle. I had overlooked him in the pursuit of his friend. He was smart and very kind to me. I was very happy with him. David, on the other hand, ended up getting into a relationship with a new guy that recently transferred to our school. The four of us were inseparable, going on double dates as much as we could. I was also happy for him because he could finally be his true self. His happiness was and will always be my happiness. He and I sometimes laugh about the situation. This is how we both are. We have such a dark sense of humor. I'm in a happy relationship and so is he. That night might not have turned out the way that I wanted, but the one good thing I got was his rejection. It sounds strange for me to say that I am grateful for rejection, but that rejection led me to finding my boyfriend Kyle. Like I told you, it is a bit of a crazy story. All good ones are crazy anyway. The end. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become a part of our rainbow force and stay wholesome.